Yes, you supposed to. The devil is a lie. No. It's called abuse of power, abuse of authority. Well, Tony Talks Vested Up, prove it to me. Okay, hold on. I went simple tonight. I went very simple tonight with my very first question. And you know we're going to build on this. You know we're going to build on this. You know we're going to build on this. Now, I went very simple, right? This is my question. What are the roles of a U.S. congressman in Texas? I had to go elementary on them today to show my point and to show you exactly why this is troublesome. And this is why Pat Fallon, because of the way that he handled this case, he's actually, what's the word? Implicating that his son may have something to do with this. Pat Fallon, yes, Pat Fallon. So what is the roles of a U.S. Congress men in Texas? 46, hold on, I need to take some notes. 46, hold on. 46. What are the roles of a congressman in Texas? A congressman, a U.S. representative such as Pat Fallon himself from Texas, represents the people of one congressional district in the U.S. House of Representatives, right? Here we go. Their job is to represent their constituents, right, at a federal level. Not at a what? Not at a state level. Just stay with me. Let me bake this right here. Once again, their job is to represent their constituents at a federal level, not a state level. That's one. Their primary responsibilities are, now this is Pat Fallon. This is Pat Fallon, who is Texas U.S. representative. Now, we're finna get into, go ahead and get your notes, your drink, and your vest, because we stay vested over here 365 degrees at Tony Talks Vested Up, Compelling and Law Sports Edge. Making federal laws, Pat Fallon, making federal laws by introducing, debating, amending, and voting on bills. The role of a U.S. representative. Representing their district by listening to constituents concerned and advocating for their interests in Congress. Federal level, okay? Oversight of the executive branch, including investigating, I cut it off. Federal agencies, holding hearings and ensuring federal laws are properly carried out. Federal. Hold on. Let me go to slide over so you can see this, because I'm finna bring it home. Now, going to the other side. Oversight of the executive branch, including investigating federal agencies, holding hearings, ensuring federal laws are properly carried out. This is a U.S. representative. Catch what I'm putting down. Serving on congressional committees where much of the detailed work on legislation and oversight take place. This is the role of the U.S. representative. Hold on. Helping constituents with problems involving federal agencies such as Social Security, veteran benefits, passports, immigrations, IRS matters, and federal disaster assistance. Hold on, didn't we just talk about the catastrophic natural disaster that's about to hit Texas again, hill country? Let me read this again. Helping constituents with problems involving federal agencies such as Social Security in Texas, veterans benefits in Texas, passports in Texas, immigration in Texas, IRS matters in Texas, and federal disaster assistance in Texas. Let's keep going. Approving federal spending in taxes by voting on a federal budget and appropriate bills. Now that's the roles of a U.S. representative, such as Pat Fallon, right? Now let me ask you this question. Excuse my language, but where in the hell did it say that you're supposed to use your roles and your authorities to speak on a case at a county level, and use your office and your power to speak so disparaging about a young man named Karmelo Sincere Anthony? Where did I say? And once again, I apologize for my language, but where in the hell did it say that Pat Fallon, U.S. representative for Texas, said that he can use his power and his authority and his office to abuse it and speak on a teenager by the name of Karmelo Sincere Anthony? Here we go. You want to hear it? You want to hear it? Let me let you hear it. Let me let you hear it.
That was entered into the trial. Zero. This was cold and calculated. He brought a knife to a track meet. He was looking for trouble, and so he did premeditate the attack. And then to enter a race into it, that was from the defense. The things that they said about Austin Metcalf, the victim, I won't repeat. He was a 17-year-old kid that was beloved. I went to the funeral. There were probably 1,500 people there, and there were hundreds of African Americans here because our community.
Let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. That's right. Everybody clutch your pearls. I know you clutched your pearls. When I heard this right here, I said, what? Now, this is a statement that he made after the guilty verdict 37 days ago. 37 days ago. This is the statements that he made after the guilty verdict 37 days ago. Now, of course, at that time, he never thought that Mike Howard would sing. Now, this man right here, this U.S. representative, is a bald-faced liar. Did y'all hear all of those lies? What Tony Talks Vested Up, let's break it down. Gotcha. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. It's only 3 minutes. Let's break it down like we break it down over here, and then I'm going to let you go because Pat Fallon is a bald-faced liar. Based off everything that Mike Howard said, he is a bald-faced liar. This man should be stripped. And I ask once again, out of all of the responsibilities that I just read regarding this bald face U.S. representative for Texas, out of all of the responsibilities that he holds, where does it say he's supposed to use his position, his office, his authority to speak on cases like this, especially in a degrading manner? But let's break this down. Let's break this down, Pat Fallon. Let's break this down. Come on to the stage. Come on to the stage. Now let's play again. Listen.
You've been friends with the Metcalf family for some time.
That is one connection. That is one connection. Fox News, that's the first thing they said. Pat Fallon, you have been friends with the Metcalf family for such a time, for such a long time. Conflict of interest. You're using your position and power to speak on a relationship that you have with a domestic violence beater. He's racist. He's a bully. Texas, do you see who y'all have in office? This thing is corrupted from the top down and the bottom up. Texas, this is your time in midterm elections to clean up your own state, to clean up Texas. Y'all got some homework to do. Let's keep going. But Fallon is very close friends with Metcalf for a very long time. Metcalf, this guy right here, he didn't say it. Fox News said it. So where did Fox News get it from? Fox News got it from Pat Fallon. Let's keep going.
Your kids attended high school together. This is tough loss here. How do you reflect on it now? Well, it was senseless, Bill. It was something that it was just Austin Metcalf was a great young man. His twin brother Hunter, they were a pair. They were the inside linebackers for my sons.
We already know that they were bullies. We already know they were bullies. They were known bullies. They have been arrested for racist graffiti. The police have called on them for harassing cheerleaders, whoever else. We already know that they have been expelled. They was about to get kicked off the football team for fighting. Did you hear that lie he said? Did you hear that lie that he said? What else can we say about Hunter and Austin? Oh, let's not forget that it was the prosecutor that said that they can set aside in Mike Howard's affidavit about the ambiguous aggressive rule because the prosecution Bill Whiskey knew that the primary aggressor was Austin Metcalf. But you hear what that lie that he said about Austin? Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
High school football team. This is just, I didn't believe it when I heard it a year and change ago, and I still can't believe it now. And Megan Metcalf has to deal with the loss of her son for the rest of her life.
Yes, she does. Oh, yes, she does. Because her son could not keep his hands to himself. And Karmelo Anthony had the right to defend himself, especially when Hunter said it was us that went up to Karmelo Anthony, and it was us that put our hands on him. Megan Metcalf, you lost a son because of his own behaviors, and he didn't understand boundaries. Well, hold on, Tony. Well, hold on. What about, hold on, what's the word? What's the word of the day? What is the word? Provocation. This is also was in the affidavit, okay? As a matter of fact, this was part of the appeal process. Now, let's see what lawyers say about provocation. Go to the right side of the screen. So for me, under me, let's read what provocation. Let's see what the lawyers said about provocation in the appeal, the Karmelo Anthony appeal. Provocation is at the bottom. Provocation requires more than words, presence, a poor judgment, a participation in a confrontation. It requires evidence of a preformed design to create the occasion for deadly force. So when Karmelo Anthony said, "Don't touch me," I told him not to put his hands on me. You even had some witnesses say, he said, "Don't put his hands on me, find out what happened." That is not provocation. So Megan Metcalf, you lost your son because of your son. You lost your son because of your son, not because of Karmelo Anthony. Your boys, your son. Didn't you say that Austin came out first? He was the first of delivery. And you said, Megan, that Hunter got stuck in you for 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Your son was a beast. Your son was a monster. And everybody in Collins County know that. And some of the things that you said about Karmelo Anthony, knowing who your sons was, Megan, even you said you know who your sons are. And the things that you said about Karmelo Anthony, but let me keep pushing, because I want Fox News to tell me what you said about Karmelo, and then we're going to stop right there. But Megan, you lost a son because of your son. It wasn't because of Karmelo Anthony. Let's keep pushing. Hold on. I'm so tired of this. And you know what? And I'm so tired of these politicians. We don't put you in office to abuse your power and your position and your name and your authority for such things like this. You're supposed to be taking care of your constituents, the U.S. citizens. You're supposed to be up there in Congress fighting about Social Security, veterans benefits, passports, immigration, IRS, all these damn taxes that we paying, and we can't even afford to live in the country. But you got yourself all the way down in Texas, Collins County, because of your friend Jeff Metcalf. Really? Let's keep going.
Here are some of the impact statements. I'll read them that occurred in court yesterday. No cameras in the courtroom, just so our viewers are aware. This is the twin brother of Austin, Hunter Metcalf. I want you to realize how much pain you caused me and my family. You let the devil take over you in the moment.
Oh, yes, Hunter. Your brother Austin, he let the devil take over him in the moment. Hunter said some things right there. Yes, your karma coming too. Yes, the devil took over Austin, as you said it. Took over him at the moment. And Lord have mercy. Let's keep going.
That's how much pain you caused me and my family. You let the devil take over you in the moment.
Austin caused you and your family much pain. Hunter, you were part of it too. That's why your name was up and down the affidavit, up and down the appeal, because you were part of the problem too. You caused your family much pain and grief. So the devil was in you too, because y'all was twins, right? So if the devil was in one, that means the devil was in you too. The devil was in you too, Hunter. You are the blame for your brothers. If you didn't deliver that hit, you are also responsible for the blow of your brother. Hold on. Let's keep going.
his mom said, "You may have been sentenced to 35 years behind bars. You should feel lucky. I've been sentenced to a lifetime without my son." His dad said, "You can't even look me in the eye, but you can stab my son in the bleeding heart." What is your understanding as to what the beef was between these two guys? It was so some of the witnesses, Bill, are very dear friends of ours as well. So as soon as it happened, I was talking to some of the eyewitnesses that now, testified in the trial, and they were kind of would be described as star witnesses. The killer came under a tent at a different high school. He wasn't supposed to be there, and he was menacing. He was looking and trying to pick a fight.
Okay, so he just described Karmelo Anthony as a killer with a menacing view, he shouldn't have been there. He said Karmelo Anthony was a killer. He shouldn't have been there. He was there to start trouble, and he had a menacing view. The video, that's one thing the video did show, that Karmelo Anthony was already under that tent. So it wasn't him. He was actually sitting down. Everybody said he was sitting down, right? So Pat Fallon, that is another lie. What Pat Fallon was describing was Hunter and Austin Metcalf. They came under the tent, menacing, ready to start problems. Let me play that again so you can hear it. Now listen, in your mind, listen to what Pat Fallon said about Karmelo, but he's actually describing the twins.
He was looking and trying to pick a fight. That's what all the witnesses said, black and white witnesses. And I asked several of them, I said, "Do you think he was just looking for trouble from anyone?" And that was the response. Yeah, anyone that approached him was going to get the business end of that knife that he carried to a track meet. And to sit there and say that he was in fear of his life.
So we can just basically say that Pat Fallon, he just switched the two. That means one of the twins had the knife. The twins carried the knife to the track meet. Everything that Pat Fallon said in this particular clip right here is describing the twins, not Karmelo. Describing the twins.
You looked it up. You know how many times somebody was severely beaten or harmed or killed at a track meet anywhere in Texas? We can't find an instance. So it was
He was not killed. He was killed because of self-defense. Let's get it right, Pat Fallon. Let's get it right.
Absolute. It was ludicrous to claim that. And like Hunter said, the devil took him over and he decided to take a life.
Hunter said the devil took over and he decided to take a life. He took Austin's life. The devil took Austin's life. Hunter said it. I didn't say it. Hunter said the devil decided. The devil took over and decided to take a life. Once again, Hunter is saying everything that we ever needed to know. He said it outside of his mother's house. He told it all. And Hunter just told it all to Pat Fallon. In the court. He said, the devil came over you.
I feel badly for that family. Just two more questions on this. Do you know, did these two teenagers have a history together? No, they did not. Were they competitors? They did not know each other at all that day? They were complete strangers. The killer was looking to harm someone.
Pat Fallon, you are so stupid. Pat Fallon is so stupid. Did y'all understand why the Fox anchor asked him twice? He said, did he know each other? No. He said, so they didn't know each other at all? Pat Fallon said no. Pat Fallon, this is when you supposed to have said yes, because at least it would have been a little grounds for premeditated murder. So if somebody don't know nobody, if you're saying Karmelo Anthony didn't know Austin and Austin didn't know Karmelo, where is the grounds for premeditated murder? Because premeditated murder is you orchestrated this plan to take out a specific person at a specific time. So if they didn't know each other, how can this even be premeditated murder? It's almost over.
And it would have been, and I asked several of the witnesses, if it had been a black student, do you think that the same thing would have happened? And they said, absolutely, yes. He was a killer. He was a demon that day, and he took Austin Metcalf's life, and now he's going to have to suffer the consequences.
He called Karmelo Anthony a devil and a demon that day. A devil and a demon. Let's go.
So the defense attorneys were arguing like the heat of the moment sort of crime. The defense attorney said decisions in the heat of the moment are different from decisions after cool reflection. If he felt terror rendered him incapable of cool reflection, sudden passion applies. The jury rejected that. And you just heard the video from Brooks reporting outside the courthouse. Was there ever any evidence of racism that was entered into the trial? Zero. This was cold and calculated. He brought a knife to a track meet. He was looking for trouble, and so he did premeditate the attack. And then to enter race into it, that was from the defense. The things that they said about Austin Metcalf, the victim, I won't repeat. He was a 17-year-old kid that was beloved. I went to the funeral. There were probably 1,500 people.
No more lies. No more lies. Pat Fallon, no more lies. Now, this is what Pat Fallon had said about Karmelo Anthony. June the 9th, scumbag. Killer was just found guilty of murder one. They can't even use Karmelo's Anthony name because they know they've been lying on that young man. Not one time did you hear Pat Fallon in this whole entire 3-minute video say his name. Say his name. Because they know they are railroading that young man. And if you don't put a name on it, it's like they took away all of the human aspects of Karmelo Anthony by not even saying his name. They gave him a devil, a demon, killer, scumbag, because they're trying to dissociate in their mind that this was an innocent kid that they just put this charge on. Scumbag killer was just found guilty of murder one. It was the obvious and correct verdict. Please join me in praying for the Metcalf family. This is the U.S. representative. I told you who's supposed to be, his responsibilities is at a federal level, not Collins County level. Let's keep going. The next one. I want to blow this up to you. I want to blow this up. Boom. Hit it hard. Hit it hard. The next one. I'm staying on Pat Fallon. This is what Provoked Change said about 4 hours ago. Rules of thee, but not rules for me. The truth behind the outrage. When a U.S. Congressman, Pat Fallon, took to social media to aggressively blast a sitting judge and insert himself directly into a local criminal case, local Collins County, not federal, many wonder why a federal official was so unhinged over local bond hearings. Now we know the truth. The redactions of the official police reports are leaking. Now we know the truth. The redactions on the official police reports are leaking. The congressman wasn't just a concerned politician waiting from afar. His own son, Patrick Edward Fallon Jr., was a student athlete at the same school and is named right there on the official police transport and witness roster from the day of the incident. It hit close home. We get it. Any parent would be shaken, but using a massive federal platform to use words like scumbag and attack a district judge while concealing your own family direct presence at the scene is injustice. It is a dangerous conflict of interest. A dangerous conflict of interest. When politicians use vitriol to stir up online mobs for situations happening in their own backyards, they cross the line from public service into personal retaliation. Retaliation. When Tony Talks Vested Up, and that's the end of the slides. That's the end of the slides. I got one more after this. It's part of the appeal packet. So I want to ask you again. Now, him being friends with Metcalf, that's one thing. I'm saying he may be consoling with the father. But do you think, is he doing this? Did he get unhinged because he was supporting the Metcalf family, or is he trying to protect his own son that could have possibly been part of that altercation under that tent that caused Austin Metcalf to lose his life. I can see him standing up for his friend Soar. He knew Austin, he knew Honor, but the way that he was unhinged on social media and the way that he called him killer, scumbag, demon and devil, it was so personal. It was so personal. And you used your office, your authority, your role as a U.S. representative and congressman because you knew Jeff Metcalf. Trust me, I got more to come. I got more to come. I got to do more homework and digging. I got more to come. Trust me, I got more to come. Just like I found out the connections between John Roach, Texas AG Ken Paxton, and also Jeff Metcalf and Nate Paul. Trust me. Now, we have already tied, according to Fox News, we have already tied U.S. Senator Representative, U.S. Representative Pat Fallon directly to Metcalf. I just got to find that link between Fallon, Roach, and Paxton. Oh, and even Nate Paul, because it's there, y'all. It's there. I just got to find it. I just got to find it. And I just want to let you know here. I just want to let you know this right here. That case. Pat Fallon, are you going to say something about this case with Daniel Irvin? Because the one that assisted in his murdering and unaliving is this white young boy here. Pat Fallon, why you haven't spoke out on this case? Pat Fallon, why you haven't spoke out on Luke County? It's also happened in your state. As a U.S. congressman, representative, if you can speak on Austin Metcalf death, why you're not speaking out on 18-year-old Daniel Irwin, who was about to go to the U.S. military to defend that flag behind your head? Yeah, you heard me right. Daniel Irwin was about to go to report to boot camp the Monday before he drowned on that weekend. He was going to be a U.S. Army soldier. He was giving up his life for this country and fight for that flag behind Patrick Fallon. So, Congressman Fallon, when are you going to speak up for Daniel Irwin? When are you going to speak up for Daniel Irwin? It's never going to happen. We already know that. But that's okay. Now, something just popped up in my head about Patrick Fallon. I'm going to let y'all go. Patrick Fallon, I got to get to the comments too. I got to get to those comments. Pat Fallon is something that I read in his bio, and I'm going to hold that. I need to do some more investigating, but I'm going to hold that for right now. But I saw something in his bio that kind of put me at pause, and I think I got to find a connection. But welcome everybody. Go ahead and welcome everybody to the stage, Pat Fallon. Pat Fallon now is on my radar. Officially, Pat Fallon. And also, for this weapon that he want to talk about, and he was gloating so much about in that Fox News, let's go right here. I want to highlight this again. I think it was the affidavit that the weapon was not to be introduced in court. Since everybody want to keep talking about the knife, it is the same knife that in that gentleman's agreement, they all agreed not to bring or introduce the knife in court. Oh, here we go. Where you see the knife highlighted in orange, including foregoing questioning it would otherwise have pursued concerning the weapon. Here we go. On the assumption that the agreed upon evidence would not be introduced. The understanding was never reduced in writing or placed on the record. Affidavit of Trial Counsel Exhibit 10. I'm not going to gloss over that. They agreed in the gentleman's agreement that the knife would not be introduced. So Pat Fallon, why you didn't say that? Pat Fallon, why you didn't talk about that part, since you kept want to bring it up? Who brings a knife to a track meet? Oh, the same knife that the prosecution said that they didn't want introduced in court, and we already know why, because it's been rumored that that knife had an M on the side of it. That M could have stood for Metcalf or could have stood for Memorial. And if it stood for Memorial, that means it was Memorial's own knife that was planted in Austin's body, or it was a Metcalf knife that was planted in Austin's body. And I rest my case for the night. But Pat Fallon, you on notice. Pat Fallon, you on notice. That man, you know why? I know why he's friends with Jeff Metcalf, because did you see how he nutted up on Fox News Unhinged? I know why he's friends with Jeff Metcalf, because he's unhinged also. This, you don't know. Pat Fallon Jr., Pat Edward Fallon Jr., he also plays, he's on the track team and the football team along with Karmelo Anthony, but different schools, right? And Pat Fallon's son is the quarterback. It will be the quarterback for Memorial. And you know I do football over here, so I'm definitely going to go over his records, because I want to see what the young man is going to bring, because Pat Fallon, the way that he was unhinged on social media, this young man must have a great arm, some great stats, and he must be in fear that if he's, let's say, like a Shador Sanders, he's college bound, may have a lot of scholarships, he must be trying to protect his son from getting hit with murder allegations or being indicted on murder, commission of a felony when it's one or more people together and such unalive someone exists. It's called commission of a felony. Hey, Justine, 1 hour and 44. They got that 144. This is my theory. The reason why Pat Fallon went so hard is because maybe his son is a superstar quarterback athlete that must have them Shador Sanders stats. And he must be trying to protect his son from any charges. He don't want his scholarships to disappear. That's like Karmelo Anthony. He may got a bright future as a quarterback for Texas Tech, who's also scandalous in the NCAA. They also need a quarterback. So let's see here, Pat Fallon. Thank you so much. I'm about to go through your sons, Max Preps. If he's a senior, I'm gonna go back from junior and sophomore and freshman stats. If it's a junior, I'm about to go through the sophomore and freshman stats. If he's a sophomore, I'm gonna go through that freshman stats. And I'm gonna tear it up like I tear up all the NFL quarterbacks and all the collegiate quarterbacks, because I want to see what you're protecting by being so unhinged on social media. If you're protecting your superstar son because he got that eyes and he can throw that ball down the field, now we know why you went crazy on Karmelo Anthony and you wanted to stick on Karmelo Anthony, because your son could be the great white hope for another school once he go to college, if he goes to college. Because if he was part of that extra fight under that tent that took Austin Metcalf's life, he will get hit a commission of felony. Commission of a crime, which is a felony. Your son will be trading places with Karmelo Anthony if he was part of that second fight under that tent and caused Austin to lose his life. Pat Fallon, you are on notice. You are on notice. If you lay down with dogs, you get up scratching with fleas. So many. Pat Fallon's son is about to get hit with charges too, especially once that crystal clear video. And y'all, once again, now that we know what we know, the reason why they grained out that video is to hide Pat Fallon's son from being under that tent. Forget about Karmelo, forget about Austin, forget about Hunter, but even forget about Eddie. they grained that video not to protect Austin and Hunter for the truth coming out. They grained that video because of Patrick Edwards Fallon Jr. from being under that tent that day. So if Pat Fallon's son was innocent and docile and sitting down under that tent, it wouldn't have been a need. It wouldn't have been a need to even grain up that video. But this is why Pat Fallon was so unhinged, because they got to make it stick on Karmelo so nobody starts paying attention to his son that was under the tent that probably was also involved. Oh, son, what have you done? We got to put it on the black kid. Oh, son, what have you done? Pat Jr., you got to put it on the black kid. Oh, son, Patrick Fallon. Oh, what did you do? You had a break. You mean to tell me you was following up the Metcalf twins? You know they don't have a future. Oh, son, what have you done? We got to put it on the black kid. We got to put it on the black kid. We got to put it on Karmelo Anthony. You got to put it on the black kid. Hey, Fist, FISD, you got to put it on the black kid. John Roach, God damn it, you got to put it on the black kid. Bill Whiskey, I know your history too. You better put it on the black kid. Not my son. Everybody's screaming, not my son. The same way that Mr. Anthony said, not my son. Everybody is trying to take their son because it's about to come out. The truth about this case is about to come out. Everybody screaming, not my son. Just the way that, like Carmelo Anthony father said, not my son. Everybody's son is about to be held accountable for a time like this. Everybody is about to say, not my son. Pat Fallon, you're going to say, not my son. Jeff Metcalf, you already lost one. You're going to be saying, Hunter, not my son. Everybody will stand up and say, not my son. What you did to Carmelo Anthony, everybody will say, not my son. Not my son. I can't believe what Texas did to this young man. I can't believe what Texas did to this young man. His defense attorney has dropped the jewels. This thing better happen swift. Texas better fall on its knees quick. Everybody is screaming behind the scenes, not my son. And his father is saying, not my son. You're going to get a visit too, Eddie. And your daddy will say, not my son. Pat Fallon, was your son involved? Because you were on Hinge last year and you was unhinged the date of the guilty verdict. Was your son involved? Are you protecting your son, Pat Fallon? That's okay. I'm going to go over the stats. Now, if your son got bad stats, you was just trying to protect your son as a father. But you told on yourself. You're telling on yourself. But if your son got them stats, Pat Fallon, Pat Fallon. That's what I've been saying from day one. Hunter did it. Austin was the dad's father. The father didn't like Hunter. He reminded him of his mother. He was abusive to the mother. Look at the divorce records. It's sealed. The divorce records are sealed now. They did, and the court helped. What did he say about Karmelo? What he said about Karmelo is directed to the twins. Same thought, Tony. Facts. Pat Fallon should have been taken to court and sued for defamation. Karmelo wasn't restricted from attendance to the meet. You know he had to sell it. On Fox News. He couldn't say nothing lighter than that. You are the U.S. Congressman. And see, that's another issue. Why would you even go on Fox News as a U.S. Congressman? Now you have implicated your son in this matter, Pat Fallon, but thank you for doing what you're doing. Now we know it's time to look a little bit deeper under that tent. Trust me, that's why they grained out that tent. They didn't want Pat Fallon's son to be shown in any connected to anything under that tent. Yeah, we didn't even know he had his son was under the tent until Pat Fallon started acting a little different. We know he didn't do all this for no drunk, racist, wife beater, domestic violence, arrestee. Had some other charges on him too. I know Pat Fallon didn't go do all this for no Jeff Metcalf. No, Pat Fallon did this to protect his son. I wonder why. Coming from all of them. And God saying of Karmelo, not my son. Ooh. Yeah. You came back with that one. God. Oh. And God is saying of Karmelo, not my. Oh. Oh. Oh, it was some power behind that one. Oh my gosh. It was power behind that one. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that one got Until next time, make sure you get your notes, your drink, and your vest. Ooh, because we stay vested up over here under 65 degrees. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. And Tony Talks Vested Up, compelling sports edge. Whoo, that did something to me. All right, Vestas. Thank you. Not my son. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Vestas.